Well, everyone, here we are, the last part of Turnabout Goodbyes and the finale of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm not gonna do a recap. Just see through the other parts, and you'll basically know what's going on. All right, so here we go. It's the moment of truth. So now we're at the defendant lobby back again. Let me lower the volume here. This is it. Judgment Day. Dun 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 dun. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. Wah! What what's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off on my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah. Thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Well, I might as well explain it. In the last part, we ran into Von Karma, and we showed him the letter that Yanni, the old man, received. I think I spoiled it. Giving him the plans to take out Robert Hammond and blaming it on Edgeworth. So Von Karma pulled out a taser. I'm not gonna call it a stun gun. I'm gonna call it a taser, and he shocks both Phoenix and Maya. And well, even after recuperating, they still feel the electric shock. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright. Right. Good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Whoa! Yeah, pal! Yeah, they could have used this for the anime, but oh man, it would have been good comedic material for the anime, but they didn't use it. Why didn't they adapt this scene in the anime? It's good comedic material, and they didn't use it. Oh well, can't get what you want. What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. I must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Excuse me. Alright, here we go. Back at court. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Well, it's about time. Right. Very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Yeah, you better understand. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. You got a lot of explaining to do. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness? Why did you run away? Oh my goodness, I said it the wrong way. With a W instead of an R. Excuse me. Why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. Alright. Why I left court. Here we go. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. And he went back to sleep. At least I think he did. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi. And I'm going to prove it. Alright, the fourth statement felt kinda odd, so I'm going to press him for some information on that. But as I said many times, I wish they could have put like dots to know how many statements are there within the testimony, but that doesn't happen until the 3DS games, and also the crossover between Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton, and of course the Great Ace Attorney Detective Chronicles that first had a Japanese only release for the 3DS, and it was brought worldwide via the PC version. Yeah, that had that feature of the dots of as to the amount of statements are there within that testimony. So unfortunately for the first 4 games, you don't get any of that. Alright, so let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. Well, of course you do, and I'm gonna press it for it. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yup, seems like it. Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger? Codger? It's his head. That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well. Witness, please continue. Oh, okay. So since I don't see an arrow, hold on, let me see. There's both arrows on both sides? Yeah. Okay, so this is the last statement. Because if you don't see a right arrow, then that means that it's the last statement. So I'm going to press here too. Oh my goodness, thankfully I have a bottle of water at the ready. As I said, visual novels, lots of dialogue means lots of reading. Kids, exercise your minds. Read. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Mr. Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. You've been saying that same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness a memory of the past, or lack thereof, into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Absolutely. Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case, and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, this is a serious problem. There is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us a witness's name. His name? Gregory Edgeworth. No, I'm just kidding. Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi? From the DL-6 incident? I thought the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with this stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingers off to hide your past? Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to identify his proof. Does blood not count as a way of knowing someone's identity? That option never comes up. Yeah, I guess nobody's ever heard of blood samples. Oh well. No. Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems the case has been decided, no? No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are you going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine the parrot for a little comic relief, About that, Mr. Von Karma. Yeah, very funny. You're a sore loser, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine the parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma's The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On his proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Mr. Von Karma. Yeah, in a way, Von Karma was being sarcastic about it. But, by saying that, it gives Phoenix the perfect plan. Or an excellent idea or something. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through it with your little game? Well, duh. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. That's thumbnail material right there. I will put that as a thumbnail. Can't help it. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name? A witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well. Witness, who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Alright, here we go. Who is your owner? Hello, hello. Right. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well. Begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. Oh, well, what do we do, Maya? Alright. Let's press for info. Witness? You can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya? You talk to her. Right, what do I say? Alright, so... we're gonna do this in a proper... well... actually, like, it don't matter which choice we get, or we choose. Every single choice here has an answer. So first off, let's go with, have we forgotten something? Remember 2 days ago. But Polly, have we forgotten something? What? Don't forget DL-6, what? If I can't get Polly to say that here, that will prove the caretaker had something to do with DL-6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, what? That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something, we forgot. Hello, what? Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Oh, why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait, don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have restrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Alright, so let's go back to that statement. Skip this part right here, and now, what's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly? What's your name? Polly, right? Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Let's see. Well, it should. I mean, it has to mean something. For the record, yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Ha! Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluff a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... let's take a look at the... Oh, not that file. Here we go. You know, wait, I never checked. Here we go. Might as well be a good time to see this. Alright, so this is the DL6 files here. December 28th, 2001. Elevator, District Court. Air in elevator was oxygen depleted at the time of incident. No clues on the scene. Victim data. Gregory Edgeworth, age 35. Defense attorney. Trapped in elevator, returning from a lost trial with son Miles, age 9. 1 bullet found in heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Yanni Yogi, age 37. Court bailiff. Trapped with the Edgeworths. Memory loss due to oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins commits suicide. Wow. Alright. So let's present it. The DL-6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which is proof. Which page is this proof on then? Show us, or stop wasting our time. Very well. Mr. Wright, please show us the page. What in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? Ooh, alright. The suspect data. It's on the suspect the data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. See? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He remembered the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Yeah, this is the only time we ever hear of this. About Von Karma having a granddaughter. The only time. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Alone it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. Yeah, I burped a little, sorry. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we can just get one piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Oops. Messed up there. But the thing is, since I only showed it once. Okay, there we go. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get... Oh, let me skip this part right here. And finally, what's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number of the safe in the shack? 1228. 1228. My, what a reckless bird. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Yes, it does. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? Well, let's go back to the case file, shall we? The DL-6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something related to that safe number? Case summary. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically the date on which the DL-6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date. 15 years ago. And the number on the safe is 1228. He used the date of the DL-6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card number to 001 because I'm number 1. Well, thank you for the advice. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. Hmm. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. And this time we hope he doesn't escape. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No. It's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order. Yanni Yogi. So, was it you who killed Mr. Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at a liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Von Karma? Where's Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant Miles Edgeworth is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Oof. That is all. The court is adjourned. However... Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL-6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh. What do I do? Well, I can make him say he did it. Seriously, but no, I'm not gonna do that. Raise an objection. The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outbursts. Oh boy. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Johnny Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL-6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for the DL-6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. So why are you pointing to Phoenix? Order! Order! This is clearly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this, but it's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. So yeah, this is far from over. Oh boy. Alright, so we're back at the lobby. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, pal. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy! Nick? What are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. Huh? What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here, in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Alright, so we're back in court. Here we go. Then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Oh my goodness. Well, it's another silent burp. I will need to drink a bit of water. Hopefully that will get rid of it. Alright. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examination. The statute of limitations on the DL-6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. On karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please. Please. Alright, here we go. The DL6 incident. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Alright, something I should have done a long time ago was count the number of statements. I counted 7 of them. Yeah, maybe that's something I should have done from the very beginning. Well, of the second case, actually. But hopefully in the later titles as we progress through this bi-monthly marathon, I'll remember to keep that in mind. Alright. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. But the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, here we go. So the 6th statement was kind of off. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. There was a single gunshot, then a scream. So let's present. Oops, sorry. Let's present the DL6 case file here. Are you sure you only heard 1 gunshot? Because, well, for starters, there were 2 of them, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there it is. Because the murder weapon was fired twice. Anyways, are you sure you only heard 1 gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard of the shot and of the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. But that doesn't make sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. Hmm? You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? This is key evidence here, Von Karma. You of all people should know that. I don't accept this evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts the testimony? I think it was the victim data, I remember. Oh, thankfully we can always go back to it. Oops. Nope. Nope. Okay, there we go. It should be the victim data. Yep. Yeah, thankfully it'll... on whenever, like, you're given choices, you're allowed to go to the court record. Just in case if you had forgotten it on the spot, like I just did. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. No, you do have a point. Mr. Wright, the murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Well, yeah, of course it does. Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have any evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? What is wrong with me today, I wonder? Alright, so let's go for the... What is it I'm looking for? Oh, right, the photo. Look at this picture. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. The photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. So let's show the judge where this second bullet came from. Bum-ba-da-dum. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murderer... we also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember, the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright. But who could be that someone else? But who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary? That's on page 1. Look what look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired twice, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was on the one that fired by his own son. That is the truth of the matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. All will be explained soon. Order! I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So, all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it, I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person somewhere, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did. Oh no, he's confessing. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? Well, I have an objection. Your Honor? Your Honor, I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object? Hmm? Oof. Nick, I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. Hmm? What? What did you, are you just saying? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. Hmm? It seems waiting is not going to proceed to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. Hmm? The second bullet. It exists. What? But we've heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he? Huh? First of all, how would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? Well, the murderer didn't need it. Why would the murderer have spent the day to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance, what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It sounds like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head. But what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murder, the murderer himself was shot? And he left with the second bullet still inside? Thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people are rescued from that elevator. Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping it. I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Mr. Von Karma. He took a vacation several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of his shock, but took it because he was injured? Oh, sorry, it was in Phoenix, but took it because he was injured, which would mean it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL-6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? I can't have a choice. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma! Von Karma? Again with the silence, seriously. You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? Sitting right here? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma. Perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence that I was shot? Let's show some evidence, shall we? Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how much you like it. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma who was shot is... Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then, I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performs surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible? For all these years? Yes, it is possible. If you're shot, if you ever get shot like in the arm or like somewhere in the arm, which, spoiler warning, it was near his arm or shoulder part. Yeah, it is possible to live through that for years, even if the bullet has been there for a long time. You can still live, like to still be alive, even after all these years. So yeah, it is possible. Well, there is one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to use this over you and see what we find. Oh. He's holding that place where the bullet is laid. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing, this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order! Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Oh, we found something. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen. And so, I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? Sorry, prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright. Not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. One day away from freedom. You see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought that you had dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet to your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. Wait, yeah, this is the one you want. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL-6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We had 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream! I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me! So, it was you. You and your father are my curse. Oh, sorry, you and your father are my curse. 2 more times, please. Okay, 3, thank you. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death! Alright, so now we get to the incident in full detail, I think. 15 years earlier. Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out in the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button and nothing happened. Then there was a noise. Oop. A stray bullet came from the elevator door and hits Von Karma right in the right shoulder. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was my destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do you do your job and bring an end to this miserable charade? Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come to a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. Objection! Nah, just kidding. Finally. Whew. So we're back at the lobby now. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears on the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try and thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Oof. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You've got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. Dear. Whoa! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. The dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. I'm not gonna say that. Whoop. I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank you all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life's over. Are we going back to the first case? Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kiance. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Larry. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's, the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right? Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. Hmm? $38 exactly? Nick? Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No, Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored. He came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right? You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, hey? Edgeworth? You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations ran out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. So yeah, we discovered who really took the money. It was Larry. Edgeworth knew it but didn't say anything. Well, I'll call you a goody two-shoes to the extreme. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily too. The death sentence for the both of you. Man, if only I had known, I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey, y'all, line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom. Although Edgeworth was still in detention. Alright, so we're back at the Wright & Co. law offices, and wow, it's early in the morning there, 5:02 a.m. Honestly, that's the time I wake up to get ready to go to church. Let's see. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's only 5 o'clock? Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you. but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? Well, what time is it? The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey, Nick. Maya. So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits, and I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice. But still, it was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? So let's show Maya that little evidence. If you recall the last part, Maya jumped on Von Karma at the same time she got shocked, but she took something from him. You remember what that was? Dun 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 dun. The DL6 bullet. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL-6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma, and you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. Uh-oh. So, bye. Bye. Thanks, Nick. And so, my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now, a new story begins with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim. Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh. I got a bad feeling about this. And that's it. That's Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. As I said, I'm not going for the 5th case because I want to focus on how it was released for the Game Boy Advance. I'm not going to bother reading all of this. If y'all would like to read it, go ahead, but it goes by quickly. I'm not the one pushing any buttons or anything. But yeah, there will be more cases as we go along with this bi-monthly marathon. So come back in March where we will tackle Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. For the record, I will be playing the DS games only for the first 4 games, and after that for dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, they will be played for the Nintendo 3DS. Normally I would use my PC to record it, but to be honest, I actually tried to record the Phoenix Wright trilogy on the PC, but it went slowly. Like when I first tried out the game, it went slowly. Probably because I need more RAM, or probably it probably needs VRAM. But thankfully, sometime in the future, I'll get some new RAM sticks, because the RAM sticks I have, it's basically 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. So in the future, I'm going to double that. I'm getting some new RAM sticks, which goes to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and we'll see how it plays out. If it works, then I'll use the PC version to play Rise from the Ashes, so that way I don't have to worry about attempting to use my microphone headset as the microphone for the DS, because later in that case I have to basically what the whole case is about. It makes use of the DS features. And here's a little bit of trivia. At least it came as a separate DS cartridge in Japan only. However, when we got it here in the States, it was just added in as another case for the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game on the DS. But in Japan, it's a totally separate cartridge. At least I think. If not, then I'll add some details in the blank spot there at the bottom right corner of the screen. So it also introduces a new character that we will be seeing in basically after the first trilogy is completed. So yeah, the credits go on. We see characters that we've seen throughout the entire game. Trust me, there's been a few, and it's going to end with the picture that Lotta Hart took of everyone involved in the DL6 case, and the case with Miles Edgeworth. So I guess we're almost there. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I forgot to mention. There's a website. I forgot what's it called. I'll also put it up on. No, I'll leave a link in the description. It's a website where you can create your own Ace Attorney stories, and to make it even better, you're able to use sprites from all of the games that were released for the DS, the 3DS, and make up your own stories. I tried to, but yeah, coming up with the story. Oh, wait a minute. And thus we get Rise from the Ashes. So yeah, this was the hidden fifth case that we get when we've beaten the whole game. So what I'm going to do is save right here, and I guess for now I'm going to show y'all a preview for this case. I will turn off the microphone and just let y'all hear the beginning part of episode 5, so that way, because I am going to replay this this whole opening scene when I get to Apollo Justice. So enjoy a taste of things to come. Here we go. Oh yeah, and I apologize if you hear a sound. That's basically the sound of me flipping down on the switch to turn off the microphone. So if you hear a noise, I apologize. So here we go. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah, as little notice, it takes place 2 months after the events of the first game. So, hopefully we're gonna enjoy this very long case. And yes, it is long, the longest case out of all the games combined. Like, it's like the like in length of how long this case is, in my opinion. Alright, so thank you for tuning in on this playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. See you in March for Phoenix Wright Justice for All, and for the rest of February I'll be doing other Let's Plays during that time. But at the same time, I'll also be recording the footage. I'll be recording for Justice for All, so that way I'll have everything ready come March. So until then, everyone, take care. See you next game, and God bless. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and share with all your family and friends. If you're enjoying my content, consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click that bell to receive notifications for new videos. Take care, and God bless.